Well. We're back again for another triple threat. I am here. My name is Big Daddy V, and to my right, the California Kid.
Yo, everybody, what's up?
And missing is the Pike because he's probably serenading his wife. Happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday, for real. Man, I hope you have an awesome day.
Well, guys, it's been a while, but something crazy happened. Apparently, I went to sleep and then woke up, and Donald Trump was the president of the United States. And I looked at my clock,
Woo!
and I looked at the TV. I looked back at my clock, and I just fell back to sleep. It was a dream, but I guess it wasn't. Well, folks, I'm gonna say right now, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Hillary, and that doesn't mean that I agree with everything Hillary stood for. I agree with, she is a shady, but so is Trump. But someone said the best. We were pretty much gonna get screwed either way.
I think it was, here's the thing. I did not vote for Donald Trump. I'll say that right here and there. Um, my opinion was the fact that Donald Trump was. I honestly, you may run your campaign a certain way. You may say certain things and everything like that, but still, there's still evidence part of the course going through his entire history that says that he's a little bit of a loose cannon, and yeah, the conservatives are talking like, oh, he's going to shake things up in Washington. Well, I don't want that shaking to be from nuclear arms, blah, blah, okay? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, all I'm saying is that Donald Trump, the reason why I didn't vote for Donald Trump is because Donald Trump is a businessman. Donald Trump is Donald Trump is a businessman. He's been a career businessman. He's an investor. He's a businessman. Hillary Clinton is a career politician. She's a public servant. I don't care how corrupt either of them are. If you look at, okay, both of them could be completely corrupt. Everybody thinks Hillary Clinton's this evil witch from hell, and she's this gonna bring like doom to everyone because she's lying and she's conniving and she's cold blooded. But one thing I refuse to address is that opinion, because Hillary Clinton is 100% for this country. Hillary Clinton may be devious, but see, here's the thing about voting for Hillary Clinton. The reason why you vote for Hillary Clinton is because at her core, Hillary Clinton is a public servant, and at the end of the day, no matter how much she corrupts away from the people of this country, she will do some. She has the tendency to do public works. Donald Trump is a businessman at his core, at the very core of who he is. What, he's gonna save this country? No, he's gonna save himself. He's a businessman. He embodies capitalism. That's why I'm not understanding the mentality. Everybody thinks he's this messiah to American business. He's going to save the American business. He's going to bring the jobs
No,
back.
this is what is going on. I think what hurt Hillary the most is this whole feminism movement hurt her more than it helped her, because you got a lot of crazy feminists who, for the past few months, have done things to make people not like them, like Anita Sarkeesian, who's taking shots at gamers and try to censor video games and try to get the union to censor stuff like Facebook, Twitter, and excuse me, stuff online.
Yeah.
And then you got people like Lacey Green, who also is a crazy feminist and try to get stuff censored and stuff like that. And then you have people like Paul Feig and Sony and try to put Hillary in the whole Ghostbusters mess, and it just didn't help Hillary out that much. It pretty much hurt her more than helped her.
It did. Another thing that hurt Hillary Clinton, in my opinion, was Hillary Clinton underestimated her own popularity. Those votes that she was looking for, that she expected to receive, were, she was, when they compared the voters in these swing states that were supposed to have voted for her but didn't, and some didn't even show up to the polls. And they looked at where were these voters were here when Obama ran. Why weren't they here for Hillary? Of course, they're not going to be there for Hillary Clinton.
Because black folks,
That's what I'm
black
saying.
folks voted because it was the first time a black man ran for president. Of course, they're
That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
go.
She's thinking. See, that's one thing. I think that's what happened in Wisconsin. She's thinking that, oh, we got them in the bag. It's going to swing my way anyway.
No.
She's assuming that she has, and this is just another thing. She assumed too much. She made the assumption that the Bernie Sanders supporters were going to come in arms, and go, even if Bernie told them to, they're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I can guarantee they weren't.
It's assumption.
Because I have a friend who's a Bernie supporter, and I'm pretty sure that she probably didn't vote for Hillary.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because she was so distraught at what happened to Bernie.
That was one of Hillary's crucial mistakes. That was a crucial mistake. That and the fact that there was just this ambiance of just this, everybody likes to everybody likes to pull the race card and say that, oh, the election was rigged. Oh, this is a white lash. Oh, what happened was just the fact that Hillary Clinton does not carry the stroke that Barack Obama carries. And she doesn't carry the likability. She may have won the popular vote, but we're talking about the Electoral College, and they're gonna go with the strongest, with those little areas that have the most electoral votes. They're gonna go with that, and ultimately, it costed her dearly. I mean, it killed her.
It's like that joke that Cat Williams did about, we like your husband, we don't like you.
That's what I'm saying.
We like your husband.
Baby Bill could have did this, who knows? But I'm just saying, you're talking about Donald Trump. Now, I'm not saying voting for Donald Trump was a good idea. Voting for Donald Trump was probably one of the single most foolish and stupidest things I could ever imagine Americans could do. Who puts their faith in a man that's a career businessman who has done so much? There's so much about Donald Trump that's out there already. There's so much about Donald Trump that's out there already that I am just appalled about, that people just forget. Like, oh, Donald Trump's going to save Michigan. He's going to bring back the jobs. Donald Trump's going to turn this economy around. Donald Trump is going to put tariffs on China and label them a currency manipulator, and that's a good idea. No, that's a stupid idea. China's our financier.
Donald Trump, he did like any politician would do. He catered to the crazy Tea Partiers. For example, the whole thing with the wall. And when I was coming home yesterday, the guy on the bus was talking about, well, now he's backpedaling about the wall on Mexico. I'm like, of course he is. Because in the beginning, he was like, well, Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Mexico ain't going to pay for that wall.
The president laughed at him.
Mexico is not going to pay for that wall. They don't even have the money for the whole country. And you think they're going to pay for
They don't even have their own money. Their freaking drug cartels have the money.
Yeah.
They don't even have their own money.
And, the Americans aren't going to pay for that wall. It was just something to make the crazy
people in the freaking suburbs and whatnot vote for him because they think
the crazy Tea Party is happy. The Tea Parties, yep. Of course he's going to backpedal now. He's got the votes, and people are shocked about it. He's not. People need to understand. Politicians lie, and
that's the whole point.
Saga, the guy that I watch on YouTube, he was like, well, Hillary's corrupt and she's this and she's that and Trump is better. I'm like, no, he's not. All these guys want to say that Hillary's corrupt. I hate to break it to you, but Trump is, if not the same or even worse.
You think Hillary is bad?
I thought it was funny. I saw this sticker that was on the window of this person's car saying that Trump will take out the corruption. He will.
They think they're going to shake up Washington.
He will take out the. He would take out the corruption. I can't remember the whole phrase, but he would take down the status quo. Yeah, I hate to break it to you.
The pundits say
Trump is the status quo. He's a rich billionaire man that thinks that
he's a job exporter.
That should be because he's rich. In the government, that's the problem with the government now. Too many rich folks having their hands in the pockets of the congressman, and you're just not letting one of them as president. So, if you really think that he's going to try to take out, all the other rich guys who had their hands with the congressman, you're wrong.
It's the very principle of bureaucracy. I'm gonna lay this out for the people that are listening to this. It's just the fact that look, point being, you could put this up against anything. The conservative, any I don't care if it's your traditional Republican conservative or your new what is it your radical Republicans or whatever you want to label them. The Republican rhetoric is all about trying to when they talk about security, the security that's where the fear factor comes in. That's why Republican regimes are generally built around fear. Every single Republican regime is built around fear for America's safety. That is why all the crap goes down when a Republican president is in office. That's why it's always a war. That's why you can look back. I challenge anybody to look back at any Republican presidency, and there was a war.
Yeah,
Like I said,
and
because they're scared. They're terrified. They're terrified of everyone. But see, let me pose this question to you. One thing I loved about Barack Obama's presidency was his just driven with diplomacy. Barack Obama embodied diplomacy. The man was diplomacy. Like the man didn't strong arm the allies. He went in and needled the thread when he had to take somebody out. Yes, he sent in the SEAL Team 6 or whatever. He sent them in to kill. Yes, he would do assassinations. But Barack Obama would definitely go to the negotiating table. Barack Obama went to the negotiating table. I love that about him. He didn't strong arm. He tried to keep a balance with diplomacy. But see, the thing about it, the Republicans have always had kind of this strong. They want to intimidate the other countries into respecting us. It's happening now. People are getting scared because they don't know what Donald Trump is going to do. Like it's fear, it's hysteria, and look, I mean, I'm all for securing this country, but I'm not for strong arming allies because that causes backlash.
yeah,
They got to look strong too.
and guys like Silent talking about how they averted World War III by not voting in Hillary Clinton. I mean, like World War III can still happen. Don't kid yourself and thinking just because Donald Trump is in office that's the end of war. People are like, oh, Putin wants to work with us now. Oh, the Philippines president wants to work with us now. Those guys are laughing behind Trump's back, thinking he's weak sauce, and they can easily come in
They
and
had a
take
party.
U.S. over now because he's president. Do not kid yourself, folks.
Russia celebrated when he won.
Yeah, because they think he's easy pickings. Do not believe that bullcrap. Putin thinks that Donald Trump is easy.
Look at Israel.
pickings.
Israel's happy as hell. They're all moving in now.
Yeah, don't think that just because Donald Trump is in there that World War III has been averted.
Donald Trump has no idea what he's gotten himself into. I think when he went there, I think that's why that talk with Obama lasted so long. Because I don't think, and that's why he went back on so many things he was going to say. Because I think when he finally got the real story as to what the hell was going on
Yeah.
there, I think he started to kind of backtrack on some shit because he realized, look, this is the real deal. This was really going on.
And plus, now the Republicans really don't need Trump. I mean, they got control of the Senate and the House, and of course, they're going to repeal Obamacare. Of course, they're going to try to ban same-sex marriages. Everything that Obama got in his presidency, they're going to repeal everything. And now, Trump's like, well, I won't take everything away from Obamacare. I'll take some.
Because he realized what it was going to do.
But I hate to break it to you, Ted Cruz and them would probably veto anything that would keep anything from Obamacare on there that they don't like. They would veto it, and they had the power to keep that veto on him.
He's going to have opposition from his vice president. Mike Pence is a traditional Republican.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but he's going to be a lame duck president if he doesn't go with Congress. If he doesn't follow what they want to do, he's going to be a lame duck president. Anything that they don't like, they will veto, and nothing of his will get passed.
They'll cut it off. They will cut it off, and that's the thing. Like you're dealing with when the Republicans control the government like this, and they're trying to get that Supreme Court justice. I know they're not.
Well, they got
when
it.
Scalia died. Well, yeah, because they got the.
They're gonna blog Obama all the way to the end of his presidency, and then they're gonna tell Trump, "These are the people we want. We don't give a what about your picks. Put these people in." Or we're gonna veto everything you have, and he's gonna do it.
Like I said, I'm not against conservative values. I just feel that there is a line, there is a clear line between when people push it too far, and people overlook the facts of look, We have to evolve as a country. If we don't evolve as a country, people think, oh, you're just going too far left and being liberal. No, this is stuff that, yeah, American principles and, American values are ingrained in conservatism to a degree, but at the same time, we'll never survive if we don't push the left a little bit. Like you can't stay grounded in these old beliefs so long that, because I mean, hey man, the world's evolving and we're gonna get left behind if we don't start evolving, And here's what this is what terrifies me the most about Donald Trump. Nothing has been mentioned in his proposals about what he plans to do with the Iran deal. If Trump tries to do what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail and tear up the Iran deal, that's going to cause a war right there.
I don't think Ted Cruz and the Republicans are that stupid. They will stop them.
You cannot tear up the Iran deal. No, because look, they may call it the stupidest deal ever made, but it brought Iran to the negotiating table. Not to mention, yeah, we gave them all that money, and we did open up, we did take away the sanctions and allow nuclear research, whatever the hell it was. But my thing is this: you may say that on the campaign trail, but if you try to take action on that, those people aren't giving that money back. You go back over the talking about, well, Barack's gone, we want to tear up this deal and we're going to just make a new deal. No, they're not even going to show up. They're not even going to show up. They're just like, you take it from us. Take it from us if you try. They're going to be pissed. Look, I'm just saying some things are common sense.
Yeah, and another thing that kind of scares me is like the whole backlash of people doing crazy crap. I mean, to say that the internet lost their freaking minds is an understatement.
You got riots going on all over the place. I'm like,
riots, protests. I'm protesting, and people on YouTube talk about their leaves and shit.
Where were these people? Like a lot of these people, some of these people doing this, and they probably didn't even show up to the polls. They probably ain't even read Trump's proposals. Like, outside of the stupid stuff that's in those proposals, there are actually some decent proposals on there. I think there should be term limits on Congress. Yes, do it.
Yes.
Term limit that thing. Yeah, I did like some of Donald Trump's proposals, but of course there are the 4 or 5 on there that are completely stupid. Yeah. I'm just like, come on.
And then there's like the video of the woman who kicked her son out of the house because he voted for Trump in a mock trial. First of all, whoever the mother is deserves to be thrown in jail. And I don't care if she was just doing it, as a lesson. For you to put it on YouTube,
that's not a teachable moment.
Much of an idiot you are. I mean, it's just wrong and stupid. And, I just think that people need to chill out. Stop trying to beat up on people that supported Trump and calm the fuck down.
Well, you never know. Trump may pull off a Reagan and surprise us all. You never know. It's in God's hands.
I mean, I understand you being, worried and all, but it doesn't mean that you need to go out and beat the living crap out of anybody that supported Trump or, supported his values and all that. I mean, you're pretty much doing what people did with Bush, and I mean, like, now they're saying like California trying to secede from the Union.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
and I'm like, seriously, this is the same shit they tried to do with Obama. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Was it South Carolina or Alabama?
Texas tried to secede from the nation.
Tried to do that shit when Obama was elected president.
Texas attempted it too.
When the fuck did we start doing shit with crazy white people did when Obama was elected president?
I was saying it's stupid. It's a waste of energy and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Look. The energy that they're spending on rioting and protesting right now and doing all these peaceful protests, the energy that they're spending right now could be more about
I don't have a problem with the protest. As long as it's peaceful, you don't go and beat somebody up.
Well, doing demonstrations.
Yeah, but like, long as it's not like you going around beating up people and destroying stuff.
I'm trying to understand what the protests, but see, this is why I think the protests are ridiculous. What are the protests for? There was no cheat. The election was not rigged. There's no way I can believe. I watched the whole damn thing. It's not. there's no way that you could rig the election. Like, not like that. There's no way when it's that much of a deficit between the two scores. That's not a rig.
It's just
It's just people not showing up to the polls.
It's just too little, too late.
People didn't show up to the polls. I gotta say this to the protesters: stop protesting. You're wasting time. We could be doing something a little bit more productive right now. Look, you're not going to sway the electoral college for December by protesting. You're not going to do it that way. There's still no way you're going to do it that way.
The only way you're going to do it is go to the DNC, tell them to get somebody in charge that knows what the fuck they're doing. And if I were them, I would go down and beg and plead Joe Biden in like 2 years and ask him to run, because that's probably going to be our only saving grace.
The most ludicrous thing right now is that people are talking about having, and I'm glad the churches have started shutting this down and saying, look, she could do a vice president. All these people talking about Michelle Obama 2020. Michelle Obama is not going to run for president 2020. No. It'd be freaking ridiculous.
The only saving grace for DNC is if Joe Biden decides to run for president. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to be able to
4 years probably not.
To get it. I just don't believe that anybody likes. I mean, unless Bernie, I just don't think Bernie doesn't have it.
Bernie doesn't have enough. Like, I don't know. Bernie and the person that they run against. If Donald Trump runs for a second term and Bernie Sanders running against him, if Bernie's still in good health, Bernie can beat him because they would get behind Bernie Sanders. But when it came to Hillary Clinton had too much stroke. Like she had a machine behind her. That was just too much of a corrupt machine behind her. She shut him down.
Like I said, I still believe that if Joe Biden ran, it would be a landslide victory for him. And I don't think Donald Trump would be able to.
I don't know if Joe could beat. I'll tell you what. I don't know if Joe Biden. I mean, it may happen, but I don't know if Joe Biden could beat Donald Trump because here's the problem. Joe Biden has always been viewed by, and I'm not talking about the smart voters who vote for Joe Biden because of policies or anything. Generally, elections are decided by the casual public, and they see Joe as kind of like a henchman. They don't really feel. I don't know if they see Joe as a number one man. They would see if Joe Biden ran for president and he had a strong platform. Honestly, your vice president candidate would have to be a flipper. I mean, your vice presidential candidate would have to be a good vice presidential candidate.
All I have to say is all these protesters that protesting about Donald Trump, you want to help and you want to stop him, my advice to you is help the DNC before in the 2 years. Get them to get their shit together and find somebody that can beat Donald Trump.
Here's another one. Stop protesting and start planning to show up to the polls at these other elections that are going to happen coming up. When they're voting for these other seats and stuff, you guys need to be there because that's what's going to... Right now, the DNC needs to reform. They've lost power everywhere now. Like, come on, man. Like, you people who are claiming to be liberals, y'all don't vote in these local elections, municipal elections. That's where we sway. Vote for your Senate. Vote for your House, man. Like, God, you guys just let that go. Like, what? Now we have no sway. We have no sway. I mean, they're wasting energy. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting sick of the protests. I'm getting sick of the rioting and it's stupid. We need to be out there and get active, like for real.
Mm. But that's enough of politics. Let's get into some wrestling.
Yep.
2 weeks ago was Hell in a Cell. Decent pay-per-view. Not really something I would say was...
It was decent.
Great, but it was a good pay-per-view. It was headlined by Sasha versus Charlotte, which surprisingly, fully spilled the beans about it being main event, but he retracted. But at the start of the show, everybody wanted to know if it was going to end the show, and sure enough, it did. So my hats off to Vince for finally, I
think that was
letting the women go on last.
It was a good move.
And well, let's get into it. The first match was Rusev versus Roman Reigns in the Cell.
Solid. Not nothing classic, but solid.
Yeah, solid. from both guys. The one thing that I wish for, I wish and pray to God that Rusev had took that chest protector and ripped it to shreds.
That's what I was going to mention too. The biggest problem with this match, what could have made this match kind of a little bit better than solid, was just a little bit of consideration. Like, okay, you guys are trying to make us, you guys are trying to take us into kayfabe ability. Let's lose the chest protector if we're going to use the cane.
I mean,
That
that would
made
have
no
helped
damn
both
sense.
Rusev and Roman Reigns. Because, if you want to try to get Roman, here's how you do it. You have Rusev rip that shit apart and then hit him with the cane and then have Roman come out like, you know, motherfucker, try to hit me harder. Some shit like
That would have
that.
been way better.
That would have helped both him and Rusev.
That would have fixed the
But it
entire
just
match.
looked stupid as fuck that Rusev was caning this dude and he had a fucking chest protector on.
It was goofy. The fans noticed
I mean,
everybody noticed it. Everybody's like, God, what are you doing?
I mean, I know Rusev probably wanted to hit him in the head, but because of all the concussions and stuff, he probably wasn't allowed to do
He could have hit him in the legs and it would have been more believable. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah. But like I said, decent match. Just the whole cane him with the chest protector were just stupid as fuck. Roman wins. Next match, Bayley versus Dana Brooke. It was pretty much a jobber match.
It was just a quickie. They just threw that in there. It was just kind of a filler, real filler there. Dana looked good though, but it was a filler.
No, Dana needs to go. Seriously, Dana needs to go back to NXT. She needs to hone her craft a little bit.
She had trimmed down a little. She looked good. I'm just saying, but just.
Bayley wins. Next match, Enzo and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Decent match.
Decent.
It was just a regular Raw match.
Yeah. Nothing too special.
The club wins.
Much needed win, by the way. They need to start looking. They need to start picking up some wins now.
Yeah.
It's time to start winning.
Next match, Hell in a Cell for the WWE Universal title. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. Pretty much match of the
night. That killed it. That was a fantastic show those guys put on. For it not being the Attitude Era where you could bleed, it was really well done.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins putting on a clinic. Jericho coming out, getting in the cage. Kevin Owens taking that sick bump through the table on the outside.
Yep, that was good.
Seth doing the, I think it was Fog Splash.
Yeah, he hit a very nice one.
It was very nice. And then Chris Jericho costing himself the win, and then at the end giving him the Cobra, probably setting up for a feud between him and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that match.
Yeah. The Raw Cruiserweight title match, Brian Kendrick versus T.J. Perkins.
I'm glad you brought this up. This match was good. It was really good. The people who really paid attention to this match got to see what was easily a 4 to 4.5 match. It was fantastically wrestled, good psychology, good storytelling. That was a huge problem. Wrong place on the card, wrong audience. No reaction, and I feel like it hurt T.J. Perkins with the company, because I think for the company, I don't know, maybe they were smart enough. Maybe they are smart enough. They're just giving it to maybe the match turned out the way it did because they're trying to go a different direction. But I've enjoyed T.J. Perkins, and I just felt really bad because I would have not booked that match on that card. Wrong place. Wrong arena, wrong place, wrong audience. But dang, great match. If you really take time to watch that, it was good.
It was a great match, but unfortunately, I think WWE has hurt Perkins in his run as Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah.
Because one, I think it was stupid for them to put it on Raw.
Yeah. Really not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Secondly, unfortunately for the Cruiserweights in this day and age, back during like the WCW, back during the Attitude Era, when WCW had the cruiserweights, it was uncommon to see somebody flip to the outside and do all the high spots.
Oh yeah.
Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, kid, the moveset, everybody's doing dives to the outside. They're doing like flips off the turnbuckles.
Yep.
It's become commonplace, like choke slam, spear, and all
This is, I think it's just, yeah, you're right. I think it's become, well, with even the heavyweights, I think it's become common fare. A lot of these moves that were revolutionary become the common arsenal for any wrestler nowadays. Sadly, but see, that's one of the primary reasons why why sometimes I feel WWE doesn't spend enough time with the fans. The mentality of, you're going to give the fans what you feel they should get and what they don't know they need. But when it comes to this kind of thing, you really have to go for the audience that's going to give it its proper appreciation. All those moves have been seen, moonsaults, flipping. Everybody's seen them. Everybody's seen the moves. They're not as special as they used to be. But when you take into account, when you put it in the right situation in front of the right crowd, it can still breed a little magic. But putting the Cruiserweight division on Raw, I understood why they did it. I know they have more time. I know they're trying to expose it to a larger audience. I know they're trying to get a good return on their investment from investing so much into hiring all these cruiserweights and getting the Cruiserweight Classic, which they're giving them their own show now. I'm glad they're trying to do something, but the important thing to realize is that it was just not a wise move. Anybody who's followed wrestling could be able to read the mood of the audience and the country at this time when it comes to wrestling in general, and know that concept was not going to work on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is a show for the casual fan. The hardcore fans can watch it to a degree, but it is the casual fan show. And there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan, but that is not the show for good storytelling like that. Good storytelling is for pay-per-views. Good storytelling is for shows like NXT and SmackDown. Good in-ring storytelling is for that. I will admit there were a few problems with the promos in the back and the build-up. A friend of mine brought that up, and he had a good point. Miguel brought this up, and I thought, yes, there were a few issues with the believability of some of the promos, but I liked the story, I liked the build, but wrong show, wrong audience. They don't know what they're watching. They have no clue. They only react when they see somebody jump to the outside. You notice they're not going to react otherwise. They don't know when Brian Kendrick pulls these clever little tricks and stuff. They're not paying attention to that. They're wondering where the hell's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, the audience is pretty much dead for these cruiserweights, and it's just sad. It just seems like it's a big difference from when the Cruiserweight Classic was on the network, and now because of Kevin Dunn and Vince, running the show and probably watered them down. And I hope with this new show, it feels just like the
Cruiserweight Classic.
Cruiserweight Classic. Yeah.
But look at the audience of the Cruiserweight Classic. It was pretty much the NXT audience.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, but the new show, I think it's called 250.
Yeah, something like
250 Revolution.
Yeah, some kind of show. I'll look it up. Yeah,
but it's basically gonna have Corey Graves and Margaret Ronaldo.
Oh, good.
As the host.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Which I guess because Daniel Bryan is doing both SmackDown
Talking Smack.
Mm-hmm. So probably they want to do a triple threat.
That's a lot of work. Yeah, that's extra work.
Unintended. They got Corey Graves and Ronaldo to do it. So I think that's going to help them. And I think WWE knows it and is going to do something about it, which we'll get into later. But Brian Kendrick win by fooling T.J. Perkins and is now the new Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah.
Next match.
And I just want to say there is hope for the Cruiserweight division coming up Survivor Series, because I hear that if SmackDown wins, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
All right. Raw Tag Team Title match: Sheamus and Cesaro versus the New Day. Listen, can we please stop with this stupid Sheamus and Cesaro angle? I love Cesaro and I'm glad they're using him, but this way it's just stupid and it's not really doing anything for him. I mean, yes, it's got him on TV, it's got him, in a storyline, but this pairing of Sheamus and Cesaro is not funny. I mean, if you look at back in the day, like when they put opposite guys together, like Stone Cold and Michaels, that was entertaining. That
That
was
was
awesome. That
something.
was
Yeah.
funny. This is not. You
Mm.
cannot compare with Michaels and Austin to
Yeah, Cesaro and
Cesaro and
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
It's just not that good, and it doesn't sell. It's not. It doesn't work.
Here's the thing. I think the big mistake was made at the finals of that best of seven. That match was over. They had it way over. I mean, the match was so over. When they got outside and they got injured and stuff, they should have let it keep going. They should have let it keep going. They should have gone to the backstage area, battled all over the place. Foley should have kept the match going, and the best of seven final should have gone longer than it did. And then when it came back to the ring, you could have gone the direction of. I think it would have helped Sheamus personally because Sheamus was on fire at that point. They had finally managed to recover Sheamus's credibility with those matches. It got to that final and they were on fire. It hit an all-time high during the match. The match was the fans were into it. It was going. They could have fought it to a hairline. I would have had it to a hairline, and the way I would have booked this, surprise or not, is I would have had Sheamus win it by a hair, to the point where Cesaro is seen to have had this match in the bag, but loses by a simple hairline of a mistake. And it would have made Sheamus. It would have brought Sheamus back to prominence for having for putting on a great this epic opus at the end because he was doing great that night. He was on point. Everybody was back into him. They had pretty much forgotten all the stupid stuff that WWE's booked him in. He's back to being prominent this match. It would have been good to save Sheamus. To me, that hurt Sheamus more than anything. Cesaro's going to be fine. All Cesaro needs to just somehow end up on SmackDown. And he's on top of the world again. Sheamus is up against the edge of the cliff here. Putting him in the tag team with Cesaro was not going to save him. No, he needed to win that best of seven series in the worst possible way. He needed to win that best of seven series, and that was the mistake that led us to this stupid tag team angle, which I won't say they're not working as a team. I will say that it works, but it's just I'm not interested. I'm not interested in seeing this. This is pointless. It's not helping anyone. I agree. It's not helping anyone. It's not that two can't work there. It's not that they don't have chemistry. It's just the fact that that's not what we invest. That's not what you invested us in with this best of seven. You built us in hope we'll just ball for both of them. No, it's okay. It would have been okay if Sheamus took the fall at the end of that epic match in the seventh match. We could have accepted that. That way, Cesaro would have done Sheamus a service. Lost it by a hairline. I mean, after they came back from the backstage area, the way I would have booked it is they come back to the ring, they exchange a couple more finishers, and then some amazingly tricky pin occurs where Sheamus somehow reverses the tricky pin into a hairline win. It would have saved Sheamus's career at this point. They just washed it out. It was just a bad move. Bad move.
Match was okay, but nothing really that exciting. Sheamus and Cesaro ran by DQ after Kofi. I think he hit with Trouble in Paradise. Sheamus with Trouble in Paradise. So the titles are still with the New Day.
Yep.
And so we get to the main event, and it's Sasha versus Charlotte. Sasha being the women's champion. All right. This match started out good. The entrances were good. Charlotte coming in by guys carrying her on their shoulder.
Excellent as always.
And Sasha reusing the whole interest she had at Brooklyn Takeover with Bayley. So they get in the ring and they look up at the Hell in a Cell. Charlotte attacks Sasha, which was good.
Perfect
but
story. I mean, it was different.
The only difference from that is I would rather have them looking at each other and then they start fighting, and then Charlotte throws out of the ring instead of them looking at the the cell coming down.
I thought it was okay. She was distracted, and as a heel should, Charlotte took advantage of that moment. Sasha was looking up. Sasha wasn't paying attention, and the bell, it was already on
Yeah.
at the point. Like, I mean, the bell hadn't rang it, but I mean, the cage was coming down, and I thought the beginning was the perfect way to start a match like this, because having the cage come out like it was gonna crush her, and it's like, that was pretty good. And then, because we've seen situations where the spike who was it that almost got killed by the spike? I can't remember. I think it was Randy or somebody.
It was Randy.
Yeah, Randy almost got skewered with the spike for real one time, and it was great. I thought that was a good little scare right there. Sasha and them roll over. We have the little skirmish on the outside. Get the power bomb through the table. I thought was great, but then comes the first problem of this match. Yeah.
Well, the powerbomb was great, but for what happened next, it
Yep.
probably was not what I would go with. Because, Sasha walked all around the cage and fell out in front of the cage door. They pulled a dang brain and brought out the gurney, and I guess they were trying to retell what happened to Foley, which was stupid because
the wrong time for
her to she was on the cage. Charlotte caught her,
Yep.
and then
Powerbomb
through the table.
But see, the bump was perfect. That's the problem. The bump was too perfect. Like, the bump didn't look devastating. It looked like she took a very good bump. It wasn't like,
now if Charlotte had did corkscrew off the top of the cage,
yeah,
really believed it.
Then I could have bought this.
Hell, what they could have done was cut a little hole where Charlotte could still stand on the side of the cage, and she could have did it off the side of the cage to the
I'd have bought that
table.
I'd have bought that.
She didn't have to jump off the top. She could have just stand right. She could have just hung on to the cage and just she can't do a corkscrew like that. She could have just did an elbow.
Something
that would have been more believable. But that powerbomb was not enough to sell a gurney getting called out, and then all of a sudden, after hearing that she forfeited the match, Sasha comes back and starts kicking all the referees' asses.
I'll say this. This is what hurt it the most. Okay, powerbomb through the table. Yes. Okay, women don't often take powerbombs through the announce table. Granted. Okay, give it a little time. She comes around the side of the cage. Okay. She's hurt and she's wailing and whatnot. Okay, the gurney comes out. Okay, but where they needed to stop, where they really needed to realize that it was that if they went any further it would be overacted, is as soon as Sasha started shoving them away when they brought the gurney out. That's when it should have ended. They shouldn't have gone any further with the whole sell. It oversold. They took way too damn long with this crap. They put her on it. She's gonna get that whole thing took me out of the match. It was just so dumb because I didn't say, come on, y'all. I said, she ain't that hurt. Like, I didn't see that much. I could see enough for the back to be scared and bring the gurney down, but when Sasha stood up and started shoving them away, that's it. End it. Let's get back to the match. Let's go.
Hell, another thing Charlotte could have done. She could have did a suplex on the steel cage.
She could have done that, yeah.
And could have sold that, Charlotte hurt Sasha's back again.
I'll give you another option they could have did. When the gurney came out and Sasha started shoving them away, Charlotte should have attacked right then. Give her the kick to the face, pick her up, powerbomb her onto the dang gurney. Let's keep this baby rolling. Get in the cage, drag her into the cage, have a really close near fall, and let's get this match underway. Let's get going.
I just think they kind of oversold it. The match had some hiccups. Table broke. There were some missed spots. And then the finish was kind of weak.
Here's the thing about the finish. The finish. Jesus. Okay. The finish. If you know that you cannot, if you know that for whatever reason, if you set up a table, I don't care how light you are, I don't care what it is. This is the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match. You as a performer are in this match. Look, the first tease was great, but the fans, what's going to hurt a match is the fans are waiting for that final exclamation point. We wanted to see the exclamation points. I don't care if Charlotte wins. Give me a finish. She just threw her against the table a couple times, hits natural selection, that's it. No, give me a finish. Give me the big kabang. This is the first one. This is the first women's Hell in a Cell. Don't give me the less is more thing. No, don't give me that crap. It's the first one ever. Give me my finish. Where's my finish? Where the hell is the freaking cherry? I need to see it. That's how I felt at the end of the match. I'm like, where the hell is my finish? Where's my finish? After this decent fight y'all put on this cage, there were some good spots in there at least. Where's my finish? That would have made it up to me. That would have made up for the beginning. Where is my finish? Give me a good finish. Give me a good finish. I can look past the beginning. They didn't give it to me. Like, screw it. Y'all just really, come on.
Yeah. So Charlotte wins, and she's now a 3-time women's champion.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not saying the match was terrible.
The match was. It wasn't
good.
terrible. I give all props to Charlotte and Sasha. It was,
for
them being the first women in the Hell in a Cell, they deserve a lot of praise. Would I rank it higher than Victoria versus Lita in Steel Cage?
No, it did not top that. No, certainly not.
But they deserve all praise for getting in there and doing what they can in the cell. But the match just. It wasn't that good.
They overplayed it.
They overplayed it. They oversold it. And they probably wanted to do more, but Vince probably told them that they couldn't.
See, that's when they have to take those kind of Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels liberties. Like, look, Vince is going to be pissed when you get back there. Vince may suspend you for a little while. But considering who they are at that time, that's when you have to really take some creative liberties because Vince is not going to fire you. That's when you go against Vince. That's when you cross Vince. Any of the older guys in that company, I'm almost 100% positive will tell you that. In Stone Cold Supposed podcast, saying this to everybody that gets on there. Look, I know they're going to be pissed, but you got to sell yourself. Like, yeah, sometimes you have to do what's best. And Vince sometimes when the guys do what's best for business, Vince will honestly be congratulatory back there. Like, look, sometimes you have to go. I don't care. Sometimes. It's the first woman's Hell in a Cell. Sometimes you have to take some damn liberties. Yes, there are consequences. But I don't think it's going to cost you your job. No, that's not going to cost you your job. It's the fear. They're scared, But sometimes, when you're at that level and Vince puts you in that position, sometimes you have to do what Vince doesn't want to give Vince what he wants. Damn, if I'm in that position and I'm freaking Charlotte or Sasha Banks and Vince telling us to tone it down, we can't do certain things, I'm going to do some of those things anyway because by the time we built this match, and by the time the returns come in for this match, Vince is going to be kissing me. You know what I mean? And that's disgusting. You know what I mean?
But, like I said, all props to Sasha and Charlotte for doing it.
Very good.
They deserve a lot of praise for it, but the match, it was a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't their fault, just a bunch of hiccups and all.
Yeah.
But
life happens. Still. It just wasn't meant to be.
All right, let's get into the topic of Goldberg versus Lesnar. As I think that Monday, Goldberg came back to WWE and pretty much announced that he will take on Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. He did a good promo in Denver.
Damn good.
Very good. The whole, want to be a superhero. I just thought it was kind of funny seeing Goldberg come to the ring and you see Kofi and the New Day back there and Kofi acting like a damn fool.
It was great. They were marking out. It was one of the best.
I don't know if they were trying to be funny or were they trying to be serious.
No, it was serious. It was a mark out because you got to think these guys grew up with watching Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg does his walk. And yeah, he's going to be like, he's excited. He's giddy as a schoolgirl. It's fucking Bill Goldberg. And he's walking down he's doing the walk and you are in the shot. Yes, you're excited.
I don't, did they do this like they did for Sting? I think they did.
Yeah, it was freaking crazy.
Like the night they, showed a lot of footage from Nitro, his streak, and we beat Hogan at the Georgia Dome. They did like this whole package, which was good, which kind of shocked me because, Vince doesn't like to do that shit. But they were really putting Goldberg over.
Yeah.
And, he was kissing the kids and all that. And, it was good.
Some of those rare emotional moments in wrestling.
Yeah. My only problem is like they did the promo with him and Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
and Rusev came out, and Rusev was antagonizing him, and he kind of almost fucked up that jackhammer.
Yeah, a little.
But he caught himself,
He
and
caught it.
he did it, and then he did the spear on Heyman. I just worry a little bit about this match, and the thing that gets me also is WWE's trying to sell this as a fantasy fulfilled match, and I'm like,
It's not
no,
a fantasy match.
we've seen this match before. Nobody really wanted to see this match. You want to talk about a fantasy fulfilled match?
Give me Shawn
Give
Michaels
me
versus freaking
Rock.
yeah.
Give me Shawn Michaels versus The
Yeah,
Rock.
give me Shawn Michaels versus
Want.
The Rock, or give me AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. They've been talking about that one. Give me that.
Yeah, that
Give
would be
me.
more. But Lesnar and Goldberg, yeah, I kind of was done without them. To me, I think it's past Goldberg's prime.
They had the opportunity. Here's the thing. This is what's unforgivable for me as a fan, and this is why I'm not so enthusiastic about this match. The promos thus far to me have been gold. I've enjoyed them. I'm glad they're doing them, but it doesn't matter what they like unless they somehow score a 5 on Dave Meltzer's scale. I'll never feel as a fan that I was made up that was made up for me for what they did at WrestleMania. To me, as a longtime wrestling fan, WrestleMania is a sacred thing to me. When a performer goes to WrestleMania, because of how many years it's been going, because of all the people and all the classic matches that have happened at WrestleMania, to me, when you go to WrestleMania, there are no excuses. I'm not a professional wrestler. I'm not a trained professional wrestler. But one thing I think I can say without a doubt and without anybody disputing me on this is with the money involved and everything and the fan passion, when you end up at WrestleMania, you say that name, WrestleMania. When you're on WrestleMania, I don't care who you're against. You're on WrestleMania. I don't care how the fans feel. They'll turn around if you give them a match that says we are on WrestleMania, but they didn't give a match like that. They voluntarily chose not to give a WrestleMania match. They let something as trivial as contracts and just falling out with the business and whatever, if you're getting tired of business or whatnot. But to me, you could save that for Monday. You could save that for any day. You could be pissed at the business and give a crappy match any day that you're on the road. But to do it at WrestleMania, that to me is the most cardinal sin of all cardinal sins to the to me, that match, I remember that match so vividly. To me, that match was an embarrassment to the business. It was a humiliation. It's a stain on everything that professional wrestling has ever been about. I don't care if you're a sports entertainer. I don't care if you're a glorified Hulk Hogan. When you show up on WrestleMania, hell, even Kevin Nash has done damn good matches at WrestleMania, even if somebody had to carry him. It's Wrestle freaking Mania. You don't go out there and give a half-ass performance at WrestleMania. You see, you see. I hope people listening to the show get the scope of what I'm talking about right now. That's why that's why us hardcore fans are not too thrilled about this freaking program being billed as some kind of damn fantasy match. It was a fantasy match. It would have been the greatest damn match of all time if we had got the real Bill Goldberg and the real damn Brock Lesnar back at WrestleMania. That was the time right then and there. Now they're going to give us a shit Survivor Series. Even if it is a 4.5, it's not going to make up for the stain that they put on the business back at WrestleMania. Okay? That's what the argument is. I hope to God they can pull off a 5, because that, as a fan, that's what I'm going to be sitting on my couch waiting to see. I want to see a damn Meltzer 5 out of these two big behemoths who don't have the largest moveset. I want to see, can they give us something with the limited space they have, the suplexes, the freaking Germans, whatever they give us. I want to see this thing go fucking crazy. If I don't see it, I'm not going to be happy as a fan. I'm just not.
Yeah. Well, I hope they have a good match, but I hope Bill Goldberg knows what he's getting into because he's 49, almost 50 now, and Brock doesn't pull any punches. He will suplex you like crazy, as Randy Orton. So I was shocked that he did want to do it with Brock. So you know, all you know, all praise to Goldberg.
They better be ready to go. They better be ready to
I
go.
hope he knows what he's doing.
They better both know what they doing. Shoot, because I'm just saying, Brock has been known to show up in half-ass. I hope they both show up and they better both show up at freaking Survivor
Well,
Series.
it's gonna be in Toronto, and
In front of a Canadian crowd.
Goldberg. First of all, I'm surprised Triple H and Vince would want to do this at Survivor Series, seeing as that Goldberg did end Bret Hart's career. So the Canadian fans might not be too kindly to Mr. Goldberg.
They may boo him through the whole match.
I mean,
it's supposed to be his last match, so they're gonna boo him on his last match.
But I don't know.
This could be a disaster.
It might be a disaster. It might not. Hell, Goldberg might pull something out of his ass and make it a 5-star match.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be waiting on that as a fan. If that's not there, if I don't see a 5-star match, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah. As far as the rest of the card, they're going to have 3 Survivor Series type matches. They're going to have the men's with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Braun Strowman for the Raw team. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, who's not a part of the Wyatt family, which makes no complete sense. And Barry Corbin was on the team, but due to an injury that he suffered at the latest SmackDown, Shane McMahon is now on the team.
Shane McMahon.
I don't know what Shane is planning, but it might be interesting.
Well, I think a lot of drama is going to play out in this match.
Yeah. I want to get you, before we get into the other two, what's your take on James Ellsworth?
James Ellsworth
honestly, this storyline to me is just a waste. It doesn't interest me with any bit. I don't really see why the fans like him or anything.
It's one of those things. James Ellsworth represents. I think a lot of the fans who follow a lot of independent wrestling love this because all of us can relate to those of us who go to these little boom towns and watch these little indie shows. We all know who James Ellsworth is, what they're trying to represent with James Ellsworth. And they're doing it. Honestly, they're doing it in the most perfect way possible. I mean, he's the guy who you never hear about, who you may see in 3 towns and whatnot, and he gets lucky and shows up on WWE as a jobber. That's the guy who James Ellsworth is. I think he's overplayed a little as a goofier character, but for me, it's been a good centerpiece for the AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, trying to just buy some time between those two. It's been like part of wrestling. I think for the fans who enjoy the more serious storytelling, this is just a waste of time. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with appreciating more of the more serious tone storytelling. This is more for the lighthearted. It's kind of showing, for me, it shows range. It shows that AJ and Dean have a great range. The matches that AJ and Dean, now outside of James Ellsworth, the matches that AJ and Dean have been putting on have been freaking awesome. I mean, come on, they've been giving you some gold. I mean, this has been wrestling. I think that Ellsworth is a good time filler. I don't think he doesn't need to stick around too long. They need to take him as soon as this is done. They need to get him.
Well, he did sign a 1-year contract.
I know this needs to be very limited. He makes a good. He really did detract from some of the disinterest in Dean Ambrose. I think unknowingly to some of the fans who kind of got a little stale on Dean Ambrose, this brought him back to promise because the little hilarious quips backstage have really brought Dean back into the light a little bit. And that you pair that with AJ Styles and him putting on these damn classics every night, like somehow he gets another title shot or chance at another title shot, and him and AJ go out there and go in. They've gotten into it like 3 or 4 times now. These little skirmishes AJ and Dean have been having have been some damn good wrestling. I mean, this has been they have been putting on some classics. And, but with Ellsworth, I'm kind of just like, he's going to serve his little purpose. I I'm entertained, but I feel like his best moment was when he super kicked AJ Styles. For a moment, everybody thought it was going to go down because that count came down to the wire, and you know you have everybody when the entire audience stands up for a second because they really think it's going down. For a second, we thought Ellsworth was going to get the title, but like I said, it was just a great moment. But I think it's time to kind of start pushing him back a little bit so he doesn't get overused and get stupid. It's not stupid to me yet, but I think it can get stupid if they keep him in the main picture too long. They need to take him out very soon, like very soon. Let him sit, let him do something else for a little while. Maybe feud Braun Strowman a little while, whatever the hell they're going to do, but just get him away from that storyline really quickly.
Braun Strowman's man. I mean, wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, send him over there. Do whatever you gotta do. Just get him out.
Put him on NXT.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. It's not clicking with me.
It's not gonna click. Yeah, and it's not. It's not gonna click with certain fans. There are people at work that talk about this guy. Talk about that. They can't. Half the people at my job talk about that they are loving the hell out of this because it's hilarious. And those are the people who y'all know what kind of person James Ellsworth is. He's that indie jobber that we go to towns and works at freaking Kroger. You know what I mean? He's that guy who shows up on Saturday nights and does his little show. Goes out there in his Shawn Michaels mark, who hits a super kick in his cheap gear. Yeah, it's hilarious to see somebody like that make it. But then on the other half of the people at work see this as a waste of time when they could be focusing on something else. For instance, AJ Styles could be in a more serious feud with Dean or getting somebody else involved that deserves that spot. Somebody else may deserve that spot. Who knows? But it's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a negative opinion about somebody hating this. It's expected to be hated by half, loved by some. It's what it is. It's art. It's the way art is.
Yeah. So we get to the second Survivor Series match. Is the women's match. Team Raw has Charlotte as captain, Bayley, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Alicia Fox. First of all, let me say something. Was I the only one cringing when I heard Michael Cole call Alicia Fox a veteran?
Yeah, that was.
I was like,
Michael, come on. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I understand he was trying to get her over.
I know, but that's hurting her.
But that was just.
It would have been better if they had more sold her as. And this thing, I don't hate Alicia Fox. I think they missed a huge opportunity with her at one point, because she plays the crazy girl so well. There was a period of time when they looked like they were thinking about pushing her as the crazy woman who got pissed off when she couldn't win the title, so she started wrecking the arena. If they had they had just pushed that more, let her go crazier, let her really explode. They limited her too much with that, and.
But when she started getting the popcorn and soda and all that shit.
When she started standing up on the announce table and ringing the bell like radically, like she in the hood or something, like going crazy, like she just didn't get paid or some shit. Like that to me, she played the crazy girl so well. Even that little skit in the back with Nia Jax was a little hint of how well she plays that role. I don't think they capitalized on that when they could have back then. Now they kind of are trying to push her. But it's just the wrong time. She missed her. I think they missed their chance with that. She's not fit for this. She's one of the most, when you watch them out there, she's so visibly unpolished against the other women. She's so visibly unpolished. Michael selling her as a veteran is kind of a hurt to her. He needs to sell her as more the woman with the longer tenure among them who's trying to hang with them, because then you try to work to get her to improve, and that way the fans don't just shun her as they're just forcing her. She shouldn't be here. No, but if she's trying to be there, we feel differently. If she's trying to stay there and working hard at it, we will get behind her. But we're not going to get behind her if you're just saying, oh, she's a veteran. What? I don't see a veteran in the ring. I could be a casual fan, not even a hardcore fan, and watch her out there and look at somebody like Bayley or somebody, and I'm like, man, dude, Alicia's so unpolished. She's out there almost botching. It's like, God, it's too visible. That's one thing WWE is terrible at, is trying to credit. They rush too much, and they don't really read the atmosphere of what they're trying to do. They just do it. I'm just like, no. That hurt Alicia Fox. Michael Cole hurt Alicia Fox.
And for Team SmackDown is Nikki Bella the captain, which surprises the fuck out of me because last time I checked, Becky Lynch was the champion, so why isn't the champion the captain?
I have no idea.
Becky Lynch is on there. What's her name? Alyssa Bliss is on there, and Carmella. I'm going to. This Team SmackDown looks more packed than Raw. I mean, I love Nia Jackson, I love Bayley, I love Sasha and Charlotte, but Team SmackDown looks more better than Raw. But then again, would you rather have Alicia Fox or Dana Brooke on the team?
Yeah, you gotta go with. That's the thing. See, when it comes, you have to look. Yeah, I mean, they could have been worse. I mean, Dana, and I want to talk about Dana just right quick. Dana, I understand what they're trying to do with Dana. I understand the way she's working in the ring. She's to be commended for playing a lackey. Like, it's hard to swallow your pride and play a lackey to somebody who's over when you can't get over. But sometimes you need an advantage. She plays a good lackey, but at the same time, like her matches, she needs to work harder to improve herself if that's the goal for her to get better. Because it's one thing to be a lackey, but when you get in the ring with somebody like Bayley and you're visibly being carried, you're having to depend on holds a lot, and you're having to depend on basic moves, and you're having to play kind of. I don't know if she's better than what she is. I've seen her do better matches, so I'm not sure if she's just holding back to try to get somebody over. Maybe she's just doing that, but she does need to show a little bit more talent, a little bit more of her talent. She needs to show a little bit more of a talent because she's looking almost too weak to even be on the roster. She's looking too unpolished to even be a part of the roster, which could be the goal, but still, when it's too much, like when it's the point where, okay, how can she be, even Charlotte wouldn't put out a protege that weak. Like, even the worst lackey can at least get in there and be an obstacle for somebody. Otherwise they're just going, I mean, are they going for a comedy routine with her? I don't know. I don't know if she's just a joke, but, if it's just a purposely put joke, but what I see with Dana Brooke is just, I see someone who I'm not really seeing anything special from out there. Even if you're a jobber, show me something. This is the women's division. Show me some kind of special. Show me something about you being special. Why are you on this roster? Like, there are women in NXT right now who are just coming up who are actually more entertaining than Dana Brooke. Tully Blanchard's daughter is better than her. I mean, come on. What? Show me, like, God, I mean, Deonna Purrazzo is better than her. And she's not even full-time.
But, we also have the Tag Team Survivor Series with New Day, the Club, Sheamus and Cesaro, which that promo was just bad Monday. With Sheamus and Cesaro going back and forth, and then New Day rehashing Braveheart and the Golden Truth against Team SmackDown with the Hype Bros, American Alpha, I think Team Breeze, and the Usos.
I think so. I don't think
which should be good. Then we have Dolph Ziggler putting up his Intercontinental title against Sami Zayn, and if Zayn wins, the Intercontinental title will go to Raw. And what California Kid was trying to allude to beforehand, SmackDown has issued a challenge with Raw, with Brian Kendrick putting up his cruiserweight title against Kalisto, and if Kalisto wins, the cruiserweights will come to SmackDown, which I think is WWE's way of fixing this whole situation with the cruiserweights,
I think that needs to happen.
just to get them off of Raw, which we pretty much know that they're probably gonna do that anyway.
They need to. Like, I know it's going to be a hard sell though. I know they had to pick Kalisto to face him, but it's going to be a hard sell that they would beat Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick has been put over as being so intelligent in that ring. I mean, it's going to be a hard sell that he could defeat that Kalisto could defeat Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick is good. Like, he's just good now. I mean, it's going to be a hard sell, but they're going to have to let this thing go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
But other than that, Survivor Series looks like it's gonna be decent, but I will be turning in. All right, let's get to this other topic. Billy Corgan, this whole mess with TNA. So Billy Corgan took out a lawsuit on Dixie Carter, her husband, and Impact Adventures to gain control over TNA because there were rumors that WWE was trying to buy the TNA library and she was going to try to sell it to WWE, but Corgan wanted it and he put an injunction and they went to court and it's just not pretty for TNA. And according to court documents, Corgan was saying that Dixie was behind on paying her talent. She lied to him about the finances, and that if he knew about the finances, he would never had gave her money. Which he gave her, like, I think they said 2 installments. Like, he paid for Bountiful and TV tapings once, and he did it again. And he said that he knew that, or he knows not about the finances, he wouldn't have given her money. Which to me is kind of stupid because Billy, you've seen all the goings on the internet about how the talent wasn't paid.
Dude,
the production company.
There have been like public releases from talent that were saying that they weren't paid. I mean,
yeah,
AJ Styles came out and said it. I mean, he said it point blank. He was not fronting. He said the reason why he left is because they were going to give him a pay cut, including not paying some of the boys in the back. They were going to cut his pay. That's why he left, because he didn't feel that he deserved to have his pay cut.
Yeah, and then you hear stories about the production company getting threatened about not striking and not, coming to the job. Like there was rumors that they were going to do a strike and not do any tapings, but allegedly somebody threatened to do something if they try to pull that. And then I had a woman whose husband, when I was on my other job, whose husband worked with TNA as a production assistant, and she was pretty much saying that it was bad that she was trying to get her husband to get another job because of how bad they were working. And so to hear Billy's Corgan's lawyer saying that he didn't know about it, and, if he didn't know he went sign with her, then that's on you, Billy. I mean, seriously. I mean, I understand you don't want to take what people say on the internet seriously, but you would think somebody in Corey's team would done the homework and tell him.
And I mean, listeners, like if you followed this show, we've talked about TNA for a couple of years now. We've been following it since the first collapse. We've followed it since it collapsed, and we've been watching it. We've been commenting, talked about every issue under the sun about TNA. We talked about the mistakes they made that led up to it. I keep bringing, every time we talked about it, I brought it back to the core decision that TNA made to start pushing WCW talent, wasted tons of money on those guaranteed contracts, focused on the heavyweight division instead of the X division, just mistake after mistake, going HD, going 4K Ultra HD was a terrible mistake. It's a lot of things that they did, turning the arena into an arena that looked like Monday Night Raw. Terrible, like focusing on story. Story was never their forte. Doing backstage segments and stuff, poor acting. Number of things. The deals with Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash, the bringing in Bischoff, bringing in Russo, bringing in everybody under the sun just because Dixie wanted to, not listening to Paul Heyman when Dixie had the meetings with Paul Heyman telling her to get rid of everybody, over 45, keep Kurt Angle, keep your veterans, just get rid of everybody else, stop wasting money. Everybody was trying to pull them out. Souring relationships with Jeff Jarrett, the Global Force incident, all the crap that went down. Even the Japanese could not save them. You get this point switching back and forth between the six-sided ring and the square ring just because Hogan whined. Number of everything that went down. Just poor writing. The factions, all these ridiculous factions they came up with. Just pushing anybody as the world champion that they just thought would catch fire instead of testing it. God, the list goes on as to why they're here. It's just it's bad. And I said this on a show recent. I said this on a past show when I was talking about a wrestling company's in trouble when they start dealing with it, when they start taking sponsorships from insurance companies. When they went with Direct Auto, you knew they were in trouble. They were in trouble because when I show up to
they in more trouble because now they got lawsuits with American Express about their bill. The production company is suing them because they haven't paid them for, I think they said 2 years ago or a year ago. I can't remember the date. They also may have been leaned for their taxes to the state of Tennessee. Somebody said that it was a mistake by the accountant and it's just a misunderstanding. I hate to break it to you. If your accountant fucks up so much that you are getting lead by the state, then you might want to fire that guy.
Fire that guy. Get somebody in there who knows what they're doing.
But the rebuttal about Dixie's lawyers is also hilarious because they try to paint Corgan as a villain, that he was trying to come in, swoop in, and take the company from Dixie. That he's the reason why she hasn't paid her talent, which is bullshit. Because this happened way before Corgan even.
This was going on way before.
He put the injunction on. Because there have been times where, like you said, she haven't paid talent and wanted to cut talent's pay. Just to blame it on Corgan is just asinine.
And I can prove that I've had insider information from friends who work there, and they weren't getting paid. It's just the fact that they're not getting paid. It's bad. People are getting paid. But when I walk into an arena, when I go to a house show, when I go to a TNA house show, and everywhere I look in the arena, I see Direct Auto posters everywhere. I see Direct Auto all over. Direct is everywhere. That's when I know a company's in trouble because they are having to really extend out. They are really losing those negotiations, and they're having one major sponsor that's pretty much enveloping the entire product. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, for Corgan, judgment came back not in his favor, but in TNA's favor because of a law that said that his agreement with Dixie was not valid. And so he couldn't get control of the company, but they did say that they had to pay Corgan what he gave them. So
they ain't got his money back. Yeah, Corgan trying to.
No, actually, he did get his money back.
Yeah, I thought the case was they paid him back yet.
No, Corgan. Well, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, who took over the new Sugar Days, as say the TNA, they own the Fight Network, and apparently they offered Corgan. They offered to buy him out and for him to go away gracefully before the lawsuit, went to trial, to probably keep all the dirt from leaking to the media.
Yeah.
But Corgan didn't want to do it. And unfortunately, like I said, the judgment went against him. But they had to pay him his money that he loaned to Dixie. So let's see. Uh, Ample Sports did pay Corgan like in the beginning. He put out a bunch of tweets saying that he didn't get paid. They were supposed to pay him on this day, but they're trying to get more time. And then they put out a press release saying that they were taking over they were gonna do like a council. They put some dude in charge, and Dixie is now like some creative consultant for him. So that's basically saying she's pretty much almost out the
Yeah.
door, but she's not in power anymore. And as of this recording, Billy Corgan has reached a settlement with them, and he's finally got his money after all the crap that he was saying on
I can understand,
nine.
I can understand because he's, you know, I can see why Billy really wanted to get his hands on that company.
Yeah, it said it's the settlement is probably in between 1.8 and 2.7 million dollars
You know,
that he owed.
like I said, it's just the fact that look, that was his money, and he was hoping to get control of the company because he probably had a vision for it. Corgan watched what happened when a company gets poorly ran like that. After a while, after it drops, after it comes down, after it just gets rock bottom, Vince comes by and buys it for pennies on the
Well,
dollar.
apparently, WWE did try to buy the library,
Vince wants it.
but
He wants it bad.
he was gonna pay her, but something happened that made WWE reduce the offer that they have.
Because they probably found out about what was tied to it. Like, because when it comes to libraries, there's a certain amount that I imagine would have to be paid for any of the, like, yeah, you get the raw footage, but still, sometimes the raw footage has guaranteed on the endorsements for the raw footage, so sometimes there are fees that have to be paid out. So he probably wanted, for some of the sponsorships and stuff, he probably wanted those fees paid out before he bought the library, so they reduced the offer. It's probably God only knows what it was. It's probably a whole bunch of red tape. But Vince is gonna if Vince wants to buy the library. I know he wants it, but I'm saying like if Vince gonna get it, he's gonna get it for pennies on the dollar. Vince
Yeah,
is not gonna pay crap for it. Vince said, look, I'm gonna put it on the network. It'll give some of our talent we acquired from you over the years, backstory. Be good stuff to have on the network. And yeah, but I'm not gonna pay that much. So
yeah, but so apparently they did reach a settlement with Corgan. Corgan had said that he will divulge some information later on. Um, it's just, I feel bad for the talent in TNA. Some talent voiced their opinion. Maria pretty much almost already said that she's probably not, this is probably her last go around. David Richards already saying that he's pretty much done.
Davey doesn't need it. Davey's making good money. Davey's just doing this. Davey was making good money on the road. I mean, God, Davey can make $1,200 a night on the road.
Yeah, but I think he said he's pretty much done with wrestling. So.
From what I understand, he's a paramedic or something.
Yeah, he's a paramedic. So it's just sad, and the way that TNA is pretty much going out. All right, we want to talk about Hogan probably going to be back in WWE. The whole thing with Gawker hasn't settled. Hogan had settled for a certain amount of money, so now people are saying that Hogan might be in WrestleMania 33.
Saying Gawker may go bankrupt.
Yeah. I think it was sold. I think it was sold to Telemundo. I'm not for sure. But I'm okay with Hogan coming back. Do I see him in the Legends deal? I don't think so. They're not going to put him in that position for a while. I mean, he might come back and do some stuff for the network, and he might.
It'll be 5 or 6 years before they blow this over.
He might can do something at WrestleMania to test the waters. But as far as being the position that he was in before this whole mess came out, I don't see that anytime soon.
He'll never be looked at the same, I'll give you that.
Oh, he won't.
He's been losing credibility every time he screws up, and like I said, Hulk Hogan, here's the thing about Hulk Hogan, man. Look, I'm sure with a lot of the people in the business, from all the shoot interviews we've heard over the last few decades, there's a lot of truth to the fact that he has a lot of heat with some of the guys who've come along, because he was just never considered to be one of them. Um, but he's done a lot for the business. Yes, he was definitely somebody that we looked up to as kids. Yes, but I mean, just the screw up after screw up after screw up, even with the reality show screw up, the legal screw ups with just all this different crap affairs, all this crap that just keeps coming out about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's old enough to know. Hulk Hogan is old enough to know. Hulk Hogan's been in the game. He's old enough to know where he stands in society. Hulk Hogan needs to. I mean, you got to think about your legacy after a while. I mean, Hulk Hogan. There's a time that comes when you have to really turn into that stand-up guy because it's time to grow up a little. You know what I mean? Saying stuff like that, yeah, in the privacy of your own home, yeah. But I mean, saying stuff like that in front of anyone, yeah, I mean, you never know when you're being recorded. You never know when. I'm not saying I'm okay with it. I'm just saying it's just some things you just kind of may keep to yourself. Especially when you're a public figure. Like, I'm not saying I'm holding somebody to not have a private life, but I mean, when you're a public figure in front of other people that are not your family, like, yeah, your daughter, but I mean, you're in front of other people that are not your family, and you start talking like that. There's some, I mean, it's just some stupidity in that. You have an image to protect. There's some stupidity in that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm offended he used the N word. Yeah, it's pretty offensive. But at the same time, I mean, I guess I can give him a bit because I understand the context. Yeah, the boys in the back, we all said it. But that doesn't make it okay. I mean, not for me anyway. It's stupid. I would have rather not known that. But I mean, hey, his stupidity brought him here. It's on the table now. You know.
Yeah. But let's get on to some entertainment news. The Wonder Woman trailer. That's pretty dope.
I'm willing. I'm willing. I'm willing. I will. I can buy this.
The visuals look pretty good. Seems like it's gonna be set back in
Yeah.
World War I. I love the trailer.
It looked
The
good. Well
suit
done.
and the action looks pretty good. I just hope for DC's sake this works out because Batman and Superman were panned. Suicide Squad, I haven't seen it yet,
I
but
saw it.
people said that it was good.
It was good for the people who didn't know anything about it. Like, it's a good movie for those who just want to see a
For the
movie
casual fan.
for the casual fan. It's a good movie for the casual fan. It's not it's hated by the hardcore fans. It's even the actual decent fans. It's just hated by those people because it's definitely not what I would have envisioned. But it's not a bad movie. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It's actually a very entertaining film. I think that Will Smith steals the show, and so does girl who plays
Robbie,
yeah,
Margot Robbie.
Margaret. She does a decent job, a really decent job at this. Um, it's she's okay. Those are good. That's good. There were several problems. I'm not going to go into detail about them. There were several problems with the film, but so it wasn't a terrible movie. But it just wasn't what I would have envisioned. It wasn't what I would have envisioned it.
We'll talk about it later
Yeah.
when the DVD comes out, hopefully soon. Um, but this really is make or break for DC. I think if this I don't think it'll do as terrible as Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
But with the problems coming out with the director of the Flash movie leaving and people saying that there's problems with the Ben Affleck Batman script, DC would probably be hurting if this turns out, if not half as bad as Batman vs Superman, but worse.
Here's the problem. DC has been rushing. DC has been rushing. That's why they're failing. DC
Yeah,
has
because
been
I said it
rushing.
before. When the Avengers
Marvel
came
took
out,
their time.
yeah,
Marvel took time. They were careful. Marvel has been careful all the way through. They've had a few misses, but those are mostly involving Fox. But they have been careful. They have been very careful, and they've taken their time and they've gotten the story told. DC is just throwing crap out there. They're skipping and throwing junk out there, and they're not satisfying the canon fans. And I still stand where I am with the fact with their choice for Lex Luthor. I was not happy. Anyway, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
think we all won.
I was not happy with that.
But hopefully Wonder Woman turns it around. Also, Ghost in the Shell trailer dropped. Listen, I still gotta watch the Ghost in the Shell movie. I always said I was gonna watch it. I have seen Standalone Complex,
I've
and
seen all of them.
what was the one that came out the Standalone Complex? There was
So
two.
that was a series. There was a series.
There was one with the Laughing Man, and then there was
Laughing
another
Man,
one.
and the other one involved the didn't involve some kind of some kind of an organizational hack. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's all dolls and stuff. I can't remember the last one, but I did watch all of that. I've seen a lot of it. It's it's a good series. I've enjoyed Ghost in the Shell. I enjoyed the movies. I love the new ones they put out, Arise or whatever. I've watched those. Those are really good. There's a huge fan backlash about the casting of this movie. I'm willing to give it a chance, even though it is kind of whitewash. I'm willing to give it a shot, but it had better be good.
it better not be Dragon Ball Evolution.
This had better for the fact that they did not cast the Japanese cast. This had better be good. And the only reason why I'm accepting the whitewashing is because Ghost in the Shell is about it's not about Japanese. It's not about the characters being Japanese. It's about the automation, the body choices. Yes, they can change bodies, but I am still a little bit, concerned about the casting affecting the success of the film. I think Hollywood and even independent studios are getting a little scared to cast the actual race of the characters portrayed because they don't know if the audience is ready to have that. But yeah, the audience is ready to see it.
Yeah, but they got beautiful Asian actors.
I'm saying I don't understand. I'm having trouble understanding why the whitewashing. I don't get it. I don't know why they don't think that's going to sell. It will sell. If it's done right, it will sell.
Yeah.
They don't have to cast a European actor of any kind. They don't have to cast a Caucasian actor, actress to any of these roles. Like this, they need to cast correctly. I'm glad that fans stood up and Disney listened when it came to Mulan. I'm glad that people stood up. But then we're talking China. China has stroke like that. They can do that. But I never understood why the Japanese won't stand up for their stuff. They get the worst of it sometimes. Like, yeah, they couldn't do it to us because then that would be black facing. But but they can do it to the Japanese, and that to me can sometimes get. But then again,
They tried.
Like I said, I'll say this.
I mean, hell, they had Soul Brother.
Yeah, I'll say this on the air. One of the biggest atrocities, and this is because I am a huge Jackie Chan fan. One of the biggest disappointments to me as a moviegoer was the way that they did the movie, him and Jet Li. What was that movie? The Hidden. Was the one about the monkey staff where he and Jet Li were fighting over the golden monkey staff, where they had the Caucasian actor as the main character in the movie, and they brought in Jackie Chan and Jet Li. I don't even remember the name of this damn movie. The Hidden Kingdom or something. Forbidden Kingdom. Okay, Forbidden Kingdom to me was one of the most angering experiences as a fan I've ever had. Yeah, you want to appeal to the American audience, but I don't think they took enough faith in the fan groups of both these two huge actors. You don't need to put a Caucasian actor as the main character in a movie involving Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Listen to the names: Jackie Chan, Jet Li, one movie. Jackie Chan, Jet Li. Why do I need anything else? I'm just saying that was one of the most angering experiences as a fan for me, and I wish to God they would collaborate one more time together. just those two. Yeah, have your regular cast members from each team because I know they work with the same cast of the Asian people. That's good. Have a contemporary movie where they fight. I don't care if they're just neighbors and they're fighting over different lifestyles. I'd love to see some fight scenes between those two that are legitimate before they retire completely. And oh yeah, congratulations, my friend Victoria. Is I think she's his niece. I want to congratulate her and her family. Jackie Chan was recently awarded an honorary Oscar from the Academy. He deserved it. I have been a fan for decades. I have enjoyed. I've watched at least 95% of all his media and listened to his music. I love Jackie. I love me some Jackie Chan, and I'm happy he got this because I've watched him. I watched all these films. And I've seen all the injuries. I think he deserved it. I think he sure as hell deserved it.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jackie. Next, well, we'll see. We gotta see another trailer before I decide about this. But before the movie comes out, I will check out the original movie. Next is the Power Rangers trailer.
Oh God. Okay. Let me get into this.
Now, our friend Michael was getting on me about trying to thrash this. I wasn't trying to thrash it, Michael. I was just saying that it kind of felt weird. I just got the bad vibe of Twilight and God, what was that movie that came out that had to do from Amazing Spider-Man 2? Cloverfield, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Yes. I think it was.
The one where the teens had the powers and all that.
Oh, Tomorrow People?
No,
Oh,
it was the one where the kids got the superpowers and they were like, testing it, and one went crazy and then they had to take him down.
Looper?
The dude that was playing
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, like the one where they could tread. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was,
I can't remember the name of the
Cloverfield,
movie.
but
No, it wasn't Cloverfield. It was, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. And for the people listening, we will find out. Maybe they know.
but I really do not. It just doesn't feel right. I mean, the suits, what the photos we've seen is going to be the suits, the Power Ranger suits. They don't look that good. The only good thing out of this movie that I've seen is Elizabeth as a Rhea Repulsa.
I think she looks good.
Yeah,
but
I can deal with the green because I like green, but I can deal with that. But
well,
this whole
her look is more organic, but they're trying to do that to the whole movie.
They basically mix her with Scorpina. That's basically it.
And I
don't have a problem with.
I don't have a problem with that. I love Scorpina. She's one of my favorite Power
They
Rangers
better have her
characters.
go to the movie.
She's one of my favorite Power Rangers characters because she was one of the few people who actually beat the crap out of the Red Ranger and the entire group by herself. It was great. And she actually used kung fu, which was like watching one of those old kung fu movies. It was freaking awesome.
But then they showed the picture of the Zord, and I was not impressed.
Oh, I'll say this: I think the studios get a little too caught up in. I think the creators get a little bit too caught up in trying to modernize it. They think modernizing it means making everything fluid, making everything look more organic, making everything look more streamlined, making everything look a certain kind of way where it's more liquidy or more cellular, more immaculated. You know what I mean? And I think they get a little too caught up in that sometimes, and they kind of lose. They kind of lose they kind of forget some of the effect of like the old 80s and 90s designs, the way the aesthetics looked on the gear. Sometimes some of that signature look is important because sometimes some of that machismo, some of that aesthetic is what really makes the series. When I watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the thing that I think the shapes involved in the aesthetic, the shapes and the different things with the Zords and everything, that's part of the aesthetic. That's almost like the Toho thing, like I can't watch a remade Toho film if it's not a little blocky because that's the whole aspect of it, that 70s, 60s look where it's a little bit blockier and it's a little bit, it looks, some of the millennials might call it looking a little cheesy, but no, that's not cheesy. That's part of the aesthetic. That's just it's supposed to have that feeling. It's supposed to give you that kind of blocky feeling. That's the Power Rangers. is supposed to look like the blades are supposed to be not sharp to the edge. The blades are supposed to be kind of rounded on the end, and when you slash it, you're wondering how it cut it. But you just see a big explosion when the round edge hits the body, and a fireworks explosion goes off. To me, that's all part of the aesthetic. You just have to let it go and get into the story. That's what makes it good. But I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, and maybe I'm just not seeing. I'm not saying I don't enjoy modernized stuff or more streamlined stuff. I'm just saying for Power Rangers, it's a little. You gotta have to stick a little bit to tradition. Some things are just ingrained in the tradition of watching Power Rangers. And the Zords were the Zord was. I know. I can just see your face when you saw it come up on the screen. Woo!
It's still Dragon's Zord, that's for sure. But we'll see. And now let's get into our Doctor Strange review.
Yes.
Shout out to Michael. Thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
I gotta say, I enjoyed the movie. The visuals were excellent. The fight scenes where they were having everything turning upside down and all was
Beautiful.
great. The chasing with Moto and Stephen Strange was just awesome. Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange was great.
Killed it.
He nailed it. I was surprised to find out that he was Dormammu. That was cool. The guy that did Baramoto did his thing. The only gripe I have is that I think they could have made him a little bit more stronger. I think they made him a little bit weak to the end, and that kind of hurt the character a little bit for me. And the thing at the end where it showed him turning evil was a good setup for the next movie. If they would, I haven't heard that they said they were going to do a second Doctor Strange movie, but I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, that's
the lady that played the H1 did an excellent job.
She was in Constantine. She's always been good. I've enjoyed her. She killed it. She did a good job.
I just loved the whole visual effects. The villain, I hate to say it, but it was kind of weak. He served his purpose, but hopefully,
It's a good start.
It was a good start, but he was just a little bit weak in my taste. I'll give it 8 out of 10. It was a good movie. The visuals were excellent. The story was kind of laggy for me a little bit. It was an origin story, that showed all the. It stuck to the story. If you saw the Spider-Man animated series, you kind of get the story of Doctor Strange, and they just did so well with it. I just wish that they did more with Mordo, and they did more with the villain that wasn't kind of weak. The whole plot about the Ancient One tapping into the power was a little bit weak.
It was skirted over a little bit. It just kind of skirted. It's kind of skirted over that a little bit. They didn't really delve into why, like the real why. They didn't delve into it enough, and there was no explanation given. No real explanation given.
Yeah, but if you want to see a good movie flick, I would say go see it. I would not say that it was better than Winter Soldier or Civil War, but it was better to me, better than Thor movies. And I won't say it's better than Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was a pretty good movie. And having Thor at the end, and
that was great.
I don't drink tea. And pretty much setting up, I think Doctor Strange is going to be in Thor Ragnarok.
I see that.
So
it'll be great.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I think the Doctor Strange was one of those movies that just really is a great start, a really good start. good ride. Great. It had the traditional. One thing I like about the Marvel movies is they always play upon classic songs of the oldies or top 100 from like the like back in the day 70s 60s 80s top 100. They really play into all old oldies music because it's always a theme. Even with Guardians, he has the old music. They always talk about old music, and they're trying to. I like that they're trying to bring in some of the millennials to some of the traditional stuff. They did this even when Wolverine woke up in X-Men in the 70s and in X-Men Days Futures Past when he wakes up in the 70s they're playing like 70s. I love it. I love when Marvel does this. They don't try to pander too much to the millennials. They're trying to pull the millennials into the story world, and they're saying this is the music, this is good music. We're not going to play crappy music. This is good freaking music, and you kids are going to learn something. And I like that because they're done in the most friendly way possible. And the music works for the movies. Like it's better done with the classical music. It's really good that they're doing that. I love it.
Well, on that note, we're going to end this episode of Triple Threat. And thank you for listening. Please subscribe, like, tell a friend, and help Pat spread the link around. I think California Kid.
Hey, good to be here, man. It's been a ball.
And we will see you guys later.
Definitely.